Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the Manager Matt Friday Thought. Every Friday I'll examine an issue or a practice that I find unusual, funny or frustrating in the modern world of work. So let's get on with this week's Friday Thought. Have you ever listened to the shipping forecast, which is broadcast every evening on the World Service? No? Well, you don't know what you're missing. It's a way to communicate to sailors the weather in different areas of the coast and seas around the British Isles. The seas and coast of the British Isles are split up into some unusual titles. Things such as Bailey, Viking, Soul, Fisher and Dogger. Now to a layperson, these mean very little. Nothing in fact. But to a sailor, it gives them information of the area they're sailing into or out of and the weather that's expected within that area. And that's pretty important if you're hundreds of miles out in the North Sea and heading straight for a gale. It's the same in business. How many meetings have you been in which the person on the other end of the line or across the table starts talking in some kind of code? Now, to you, it could be the shipping forecast for all you know. But I would say 50% of people on calls sometimes have no idea what acronyms are being used, but don't say anything, hoping that it'll all work itself out, or, which is worst, don't want to look as if they're being the only one in the room who doesn't know what the code is. You start thinking of the Emperor's New Clothes, don't you? I got stuck on one of these technical calls once, and the whole thing they were going on about was OOS. That was the title of the presentation. I didn't know what that was. In the background, I'm trying to Google OOS, obviously getting no response. I thought it was some deep technical term that I wasn't aware of. I felt like maybe I'd missed the plot. Maybe an early email had told me what this OOS was. I looked around the room. No one was sort of saying anything. But me being me, I thought I'll speak up. I said to the presenter, "Excuse me, really sorry, but what does OOS stand for?" Presenter said, "Out of standard." "Ah," I said. Now, maybe half of them were laughing, but I'm sure half of them thought, thank God somebody's asked that one. Now, we all think everyone knows the codes, because when you're in the detail, you understand it. But you don't know what you don't know. Let's use the example of PPE before 2020. A lot of people wouldn't have known that PPE stood for personal protective equipment. Now, I don't think there's many people in our country, and probably in the developed world, that doesn't know what PPE stands for. So my thought is, do you and your audience know what the hell you're talking about? Or are you just listening to the shipping forecast? Unsure if you're in Dogger or in Soul? Well, that's my Friday thought. So it's time for you to give it a thought and tell me what you think. Well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.